times we're not always this good.
I don't want to talk.
First play of this second quarter, and it blocked.
About things we've gone through, though it's hurting me.
On second and short, it opens up for Jordan, and he skips home for a touchdown.
Once the all-time losingest program in college football history,
Can you hear the drums, Fernando?
the Hoosiers stand on the doorstep of immortality.
Like a super trooper, lights are gonna find me, shining like the sun, smiling heaven's sun, feeling like a number one.
I'm sure we've got some people's attention.
Its head coach and its team embody the state and its people. Never flashy, never loud. Roll up your sleeves and get to work.
You know, you don't go to war with warm milk and cookies.
The mindset has been transformational.
I was born in a small town.
The saying goes, tough times never last.
And Lucas drops that ball.
I remember going into that game, Coach Sig said we needed more dogs on our team.
But tough people do. From the fields, to the factories, to the small towns. Indiana, tonight, we're all for you.
The game is on again. A lover or a friend, a big thing or a small, the winner takes it all.
This is Hoosier Hysteria on ABC57 News, brought to you by Afdet Dental, with your hosts, Vahid Sadrazadeh and Olivia Ray.
Well, from the small towns of Indiana all the way to Miami, Florida, Hoosier Hysteria is gripping the nation as we come on the air tonight. From underdogs to the odds-on favorite, Indiana has taken the world of college football by storm, and tonight could mark a victorious end to an incredible and possibly historic undefeated season. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for a special edition of ABC 57 Kickoff. I'm Vahid Sadrazadeh. Tonight, it all comes down to this: the Indiana Hoosiers facing the Miami Hurricanes. It's a winner-take-all bout for the College Football Playoff National Championship. The rest of the ABC 57 Kickoff crew is live down in Miami Gardens tonight for the second time this season. Kickoff host Olivia Ray and reporter Talia Baya are back where it all began this season for the Irish outside Hard Rock Stadium. But in just under an hour, it'll be the Hoosiers who will take on the Hurricanes. Olivia, Talia, what is the energy like in and around Hard Rock Stadium? We can hear the crowd right now.
They're already roaring, and Vahid, the Red Sea has actually already parted outside of Hard Rock Stadium. Indiana fans made their way inside early, not wanting to take a single chance of missing a single second of this historic season. Now, early returns, we're seeing about a 50-50 split here between Hoosier and Hurricane fans. It's really been pretty even so far tonight.
Yeah, I have to agree. This is the most expensive game in national championship history. A 44% increase from last year's game. A ticket averaging for $4,000 to $43,000. And if you're a fan standing outside right now, like maybe I want to go in, you are out of luck, because let's check Ticketmaster. A ticket for nosebleeds right now is currently listed for $4,000 still, so it has not gone down.
That's a pretty penny that Hoosier fans may want to pay at an opportunity to see a perfect 16-0 season capped off here tonight. Indiana fans, they have flocked far and wide to watch their team pummel each of their opponents so far in the playoffs. And tonight, head coach Curt Cignetti said is no time for his guys to lose their edge.
It is a close team, and I've witnessed quite a bit of sentimentalism throughout the week from some of our seniors who we've been with quite a long time. I think it's time to sharpen the saw now, throw those warm fuzzies out the door, that sentimentalism. You know, it's time to go play a game against a great opponent. We got to have a sharp edge going into this game, and you know, you don't go to war with warm milk and cookies.
We'll see if head coach Curt Cignetti celebrates tonight, maybe with a beer and some warm milk and cookies. Who knows? He said all of this pro-IU chatter, though, it has been rat poison. He's tried to keep the blinders on for his guys because the last thing standing in their way right now are the Miami Hurricanes.
Well, yeah, Olivia Italia, for the Hoosiers tonight, it comes down to beating a team who Notre Dame lost to. We remember it well in the season opener. And if they do, they will put their stamp not only on this historic undefeated season, but the team to beat in the Hoosier State.
On December 20th, 2024, Notre Dame and Indiana made college football history.
I remember going into that game, Coach Sig said we needed more dogs on our team.
The Irish beat the Hoosiers in South Bend in the first ever college football playoff game played on a college campus.
It says something when Nick Saban says of Curt Cignetti that this may be the best coaching job I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
395 days. That was the last time IU lost to anyone.
Something we thought we'd never see. The most glorious season we could have asked for.
What could we have done differently? I don't know.
Disappointing, certainly not to be selected by the College Football Playoff Committee.
Safe to say, the tide has since turned for both programs.
You go into a losing program, you got to change the way people think. You got to have a blueprint and a plan, standards, expectations, but it's all about people.
The top-ranked Hoosiers are on a historic tear.
And we still got some more work to do, though.
Winning 15 straight, including the Big Ten championship game over Ohio State, then steamrolling Oregon in the Peach Bowl on their way to the national title game against Miami. Meanwhile, the Irish lost the CFP title game to Ohio State, went on to lose the first two games of 2025 by a combined 4 points, were left out of the college football playoffs, and proceeded to turn down a bowl invitation.
Disappointed, right, that we fell.
You got to meet the bar. You know what I mean? And if you can't consistently meet the bar, you're in the wrong place.
And in 2 short years, the roll-up-your-sleeves mentality and attitude has taken hold in Bloomington.
You know, you don't go to war with warm milk and cookies.
With the changes in college football, it's been interesting to see how that has played out with different schools, that maybe some dynasties are ending and maybe it's our turn to build one now.
Call it momentum.
I think us this year, there's been no underdog mentality.
Call it an in-state rivalry.
Great for the state of Indiana. We look forward to competing with them, certainly in the future. You know, Indiana's become a football state, that's for sure.
Call it gamesmanship.
The ultimate gut punch to know that this team doesn't get to proceed and try to play for a national championship.
Whatever you do, it's safe to say Notre Dame's days of being the Hoosier State's lone football power are numbered.
I'm not going to say that yet, but look, it's impressive what they've done.
Tonight, the Hoosiers have a date with destiny, and if they can do something Notre Dame didn't do to start the season, which is beat Miami, they'll have something Irish fans have coveted for nearly 40 years, a national championship.
Well, and no doubt a lot of IU's success, ladies, this season has come from the transfer portal. And as the window closes on this year's portal window, the Hoosiers find themselves in a similar spot, nabbing double-digit transfers. The Irish in the past week landing some key 5-star recruits. But buckle up, it's clear Curt Cignetti and Marcus Freeman have all eyes on the state of Indiana for the foreseeable future. And we know, ladies, that this Indiana team, this Hoosier team playing for national title tonight is stacked with some of Curt Cignetti's guys from the portal.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza, he's actually played a huge part in that, Talia, right?
Oh, absolutely. He's the first Heisman winner in all of Indiana for Indiana's program. And he's trying to lead this team to a 16-0 run. Once again, that hasn't been done since 1894 by the Yale Bulldogs. What a guy he is. I actually talked with his uncle and also his cousin, and they told me some interesting facts about the Mendoza family. 850 members in that family. I know you caught up with some of his loved ones. What do they have to say?
Yeah, we spent the week catching up with some of his former teammates from Christopher Columbus High School, which is actually just down the road here in South Florida, and some other men who have helped shape him into being the face of college football this season.
Long before Indiana football met their first Heisman Trophy winner,
And prior to Fernando by ABBA becoming one of the most streamed songs in the Midwest, there was a boy who called his own shot.
He said he wanted to be the next Brady when we were in high school. I'll never forget that. He said, I'm going to be like Brady. I was like, all right, we go see. Hey, he's proving me wrong right now.
A player who many didn't want to take a chance on.
I seen the kid that everybody turned down, and he kept working hard, and he kept working hard. And he is the proof of how you get it from nothing and turn it into something. And how you do anything is how you do everything.
It's only fitting that Fernando Mendoza will get the opportunity to complete a perfect collegiate season just about 20 miles from where his journey began at Christopher Columbus High School.
He would always, every morning, meet up with Coach Dunn early in the mornings at like 6 a.m. to go over film and stuff. Our first workout together, the first pass he threw me, I was like, whoa. I was like, you could tell he's like different from the other kids I was playing with.
Like, I just never seen him act. Like, you know what I mean? No, I never seen him act. And I seen him get turned down a lot from coaches. And he was super positive. The dude, the real deal, man.
Yeah, I'd say it's surreal. I also think it's great for the Christopher Columbus community. We have so many great individuals in that community that really are built from the same cloth, are built from that gritty structure that, you know, whatever it's battle, whatever trial or tribulations, they're always going to supersede that.
Later tonight, hundreds, if not thousands, will flock right here to Fernando's former field for a national championship watch party. In fact, 7 former Christopher Columbus grads are participating in tonight's title game. However, everyone that I have spoken to here in South Florida said they aren't rooting for the home team, but their hometown hero instead.
I'm going with Indiana. Easy. It's not hard for me.
I love Miami and everything, but that was my quarterback. I'm going for my quarterback. They better get that trophy. For the city, he's either a hometown hero or a villain on Monday.
Antonio Robinson, Fernando's speed trainer, has actually been working with him since he's been in the 8th grade. He was moved to tears by everything he's accomplished this season, and he told me a key to tonight's game is Fernando's snaky speed, which he has been working on for years with him. He said he can run a 4.7 40 if he needs to get away from Miami's pass rush tonight.
That is quite impressive. What a guy. He is such an interesting background. But we didn't just talk to Fernando and his friends' connections. We also talked to some alumni. All of that coming up after the break.
Yeah, it's really a daily process, and really believing what he says. When he says don't pay attention to all the outside noise, you actually have to try not to do it. Since the Big Ten championship, I deleted Twitter each week just because I try to really embrace what he's saying and not really worry about what everyone else is saying. But just a daily process of listening to what he's saying and then really believing in it and asserting it to yourself.
Well, senior wide receiver Elijah Surratt breaking down the importance of staying focused off of social media, really what the entire team has been doing and practicing, and it seems to have been working for the Hoosiers and Surratt. He picked up 62 receptions, 15 touchdowns this season, hopefully blocking out all of that social media buzz. Will net a few more receptions and touchdowns in an important one tonight. As we take a look at the upstairs bar in Bloomington, where Hoosier Hysteria is at a fever pitch. Meanwhile, back at Hard Rock Stadium, my co-host Olivia Ray and ABC57 kickoff reporter Talia Baya join us live with how IU fans are feeling ahead of this biggest game in Hoosier history. Let's start with you, Olivia. I know you have a strong Hoosier history. You went to IU, part of that team back a few years ago. What are IU fans feeling tonight in Bloomington?
Disbelief. This is a pinch me moment for a lot of IU fans, IU football alumni who we've been spending the week catching up with here. I actually got my start as a sportscaster, as a football video manager under Kevin Wilson and the Hoosiers. We saw a couple bowl games there, no bowl wins. I never thought I would see this moment ever in IU football history, but listen, Hoosier football, they've made themselves comfortable here in the state of Florida. It doesn't matter that it's a Miami home game. There are plenty of guys that have some ties to Florida.
Oh yes, this is a little fun nugget. 59 players were born in the state of Florida that are playing in the national championship. 9 of those are Hoosiers, including, of course, quarterback Fernando Mendoza. So I thought it was going to be a little bit of a Category 5 hurricane takeover, but honestly, I'm impressed. The Hoosiers showed up big this weekend.
I'm going to the national championship game. This won't be the greatest flight of my life if I can't get a Hoosier Riley cry out of you guys. Say it loud and proud. 1, 2, 3. Hoosiers!
A fan base experiencing something the Hoosiers have never done before, competing for a national championship, attempting to complete a perfect 16-0 season, something that has not been done since 1894 by the Yale Bulldogs. Thousands of IU fans have flooded into Miami. Alumni, families, and especially former players.
This team has instilled so much belief into this fan base. You can see red all over the place here in Miami. It's truly just, it's a dream to be here.
Take John and Chad Rogaman, a father and son duo from Mishawaka High School, who both went on to play at IU. John was part of that 1979 team that won Indiana's first bowl game ever. And now they're here watching the Hoosiers play for the biggest prize in the sport.
People, make fun of other people for jumping on the bandwagon. I'm like, dude, I'll take anybody I can get, man. Because we've had, minimal IU fans for years. So if you're a Notre Dame fan and you want to jump on this bandwagon, let me open the door for you, baby. Come on in.
And some former players are just in awe because they know how hard it is to build a team like this.
Kind of happy I played back then because I have no chance of playing on this team. They're extremely talented, obviously really well coached. It's the kind of team you dream to play for.
An expensive season to be a Hoosier fan. There's storylines everywhere you turn. Here's one more. If Indiana beats Miami, they would have won 3 bowl games in the span of 18 days. Heading into the 2025 season, they only had 3 bowl wins in the whole program history. How about that for a glow up?
Yeah, don't remind me. I experienced a couple of those losses, Talia, and that's what we call the Curt Cignetti effect, right? Now, we learned another important fact while we were down here for Media Day in South Florida. Curt Cignetti, when he talks about cracking open one of those beers to celebrate postgame, which hopefully he gets to do here tonight, he said his favorite type is a Hoosier Lager, which I believe is made by Upland Brewing, and I believe you can purchase in South Bend if any of you want to go out and grab one for a potential national championship brewski here tonight for the Hoosiers. Vahid, we'll send it back to you in studio.
Sig's been in these positions before. He's played in big games, and at the end of the day, all of his players just want to do is win. So whatever he deems is the most important thing, we're going to follow that.
Hoosier players following head coach Curt Cignetti's lead to the Natty. Plus, we have our final predictions when we come back to Hoosier Hysteria.
Single time he talks to us, he's going to hammer on the point that, nothing that we got before is going to earn us anything in the future. Every single game's got to be approached the exact same way. And I think just, having that kind of be hammered into your head, every single time you essentially see him and hear him talk, it just is, it eventually just gets the message across. Like when that's all you hear, that's just like kind of all you think about. So I think it's just kind of always reminding us, and honestly, personally, from his point of view, like never getting complacent, because complacency is real easy when you're winning games and you're doing well. So it's just kind of him just not getting complacent, and he just kind of pushed that down onto all of us, and we all just kind of attach onto it and ride with it.
Well, we are just moments away from kickoff and the start of the CFP National Championship game between Miami and Indiana. Ladies, let's make our final predictions. I'm going to go first here. It was 8.5 this morning. The spread now it's 7.5. The Hoosiers are, of course, they're not underdogs tonight. They have been basically for the history when they played football, but not tonight. I'm going to take Indiana, but I'm going to take Miami with the points. So I think it's going to be a close game, 20-17, the final score, and Indiana brings home that national championship to the Hoosier State. What do you guys got?
Well, very close. I don't have it that close, Fahid. I have Indiana taking it home 31-17. After watching that Oregon game, I just don't see it being that close of a game, especially they've been running the ball well, protecting the ball well, winning the third down, doing it all. I think it's going to be not too close. What are you thinking, Olivia?
I'm going to have to pick Indiana. I have 27-24 Hoosiers. I think it is going to be a close one. I also wouldn't be surprised if it actually isn't that high scoring of an affair. This game, the key tonight is how Indiana's offensive line handles Ruben Bain. The man got after Ole Miss. He had 5 pressures. He beat his guy 8 times in that semifinal round. However, Fernando Mendoza, he has been blitzed a ton, and he has been lethal against it. He gets the ball out in less than 2.5 seconds, which is one of the quickest in all of the quarterbacks in college football this season. I understand Carson Beck is 3-0 and he is an underdog. It's going to move to 3-1 tonight, Fahid.
Well, listen, I've seen too many losses in that stadium from Indiana teams, specifically Notre Dame, in the last 24 months. So what do you say you guys bring home a national title to the state of Indiana? I know, Olivia, it would mean the world to you, and just to see them win a title would be everything.
Yeah, we can't wait. I'm actually going to head inside Hard Rock Stadium momentarily, and tonight at 11, hopefully if this game wraps up, we can have some live shots of some cream and crimson confetti falling here in South Florida. Talia is also heading to a watch party as well, so we will have live coverage all night long here of Hoosier Hysteria in South Florida, hopefully for a historic night for Indiana fans.
Thank you both so much, and thanks for joining us here for a special edition of Hoosier Hysteria ABC 57 Kickoff. We'll be back, as Olivia mentioned, for post-game highlights and reaction live from Miami after the national championship game. For Olivia Ray, Talia Baya, I'm Vahid Sadrzadeh. You hear the crowd roar behind them, and that is Hoosier Hysteria and the start of the CFP National Championship game between the Hoosiers of Indiana and the Miami Hurricanes. Thanks so much for joining us here on ABC 57 News. We'll see you after the game.